So today, we're going to go way beyond the usual dating advice. We're not talking about how to write the perfect profile or learning some new communication trick. Nope. We're diving deep into those real, subtle internal shifts that tell you you're actually ready for a profound kind of love. Let's get into it.
Does this feel familiar? It's like you've done all the things. You've been to therapy, you've read the books, you've worked on yourself, set boundaries, you've even been practicing self-love. And still, crickets. It is so frustrating when you see other people who seem way less prepared just stumble into the exact relationship you've been working so hard for. It just doesn't add up, right?
Well, here is the one idea that can literally change everything. We tend to think about being ready for love like it's a checklist. Heal my trauma? Check. Love myself? Check. But the truth is, readiness isn't a to-do list, it's a threshold. Think of it more like a state of being that you grow into, and once you cross it, believe me, the whole landscape of your love life can completely transform.
Okay, so what is this threshold? Well, it's this inner transformation, this big shift in your consciousness. And listen, it's not about being perfect, not at all. It's about becoming whole. It's that point where finding love stops feeling like you're just playing a game of chance, and it starts feeling like a natural, almost inevitable result of who you've become.
This quote right here, it just nails it. It's not about luck. It's not about timing. It's about you becoming the kind of person who can finally receive, recognize, and, this is the important part, sustain the love you're actually looking for. The work isn't to find love, it's to become a space where love can actually grow and thrive. So, the big question. How do you know if you've crossed this threshold? Well, there are some pretty specific psychological signs that start to show up. So let's explore the first group of signs. These are all about reclaiming your own solid sense of self. Just see if any of these resonate with where you're at right now. First, we got to get our heads around one key concept, and that is projection. Basically, it's when we unconsciously look for missing parts of ourselves in other people. We use their attention, their approval, their desire for us as a kind of mirror to tell us that we're worthy. And that, as you can imagine, is a really shaky foundation to build anything on.
So, the first clear sign you've crossed that threshold is this right here. You stop doing that. You pull back the projection. Before, if someone didn't text you back, it might have sent you into a total spiral of self-doubt. But now, you might just think, okay, they're busy, and it doesn't fundamentally change how you feel about yourself. Your worth becomes this internal constant, not something that goes up and down based on what someone else does.
Oh, this is a huge one. For so many of us, the old pattern was mistaking that feeling of anxiety, that obsession, that emotional roller coaster, for chemistry, for passion. But once you've crossed the threshold, your whole nervous system recalibrates. You meet someone who is kind and stable, and your body actually relaxes. You finally recognize that deep sense of peace, not as boredom, but for what it is, safety.
This quote just says it perfectly. A truly healthy connection should feel like a deep, calming breath, Not a frantic, anxious gasp for air. Your body knows the difference, and now you're finally listening to it. Now this is a sign of real maturity. It's all about moving past those black and white extremes. A lot of us have lived in one of two places, either a desperate, consuming need for a partner or, behind these impenetrable walls pretending we don't need anyone. A true sign you're ready is when you can hold the paradox. You can say, I really deeply want a partnership, and in the exact same breath know that I am completely whole and totally okay on my own. That integrated piece, it's incredibly attractive. All right, let's move on to the next set of signs and see how this all builds. These markers go even deeper. They show a real integration of your past experiences into who you are today. This is where the healing stops being a concept and becomes real and embodied. I think we all have a past version of ourselves that makes us cringe a little bit, right? The one who stayed too long, or ignored all the red flags, or settled for way less than they deserved. Before, you might have attacked that person with so much shame, but now you look back with tenderness. You get that that part of you wasn't weak or stupid. They were just loyal to some old programming and doing the best they could. This compassion is what finally breaks the cycle, because shame keeps us repeating our patterns, but compassion is what sets us free. There's a phase in healing where it can be very vocal. We talk about it all the time, we post about it, we analyze it with our friends, and that's a totally valid stage. But true integration is quiet. It's when an old trigger comes up and you just sort of breathe through it without needing to announce your big victory to anyone. Your healing isn't a project you're working on anymore. It's just part of your nervous system. You're no longer in a relationship with your healing, you're actually available for a relationship with another person.
Okay, this one might feel a little more mystical, but it's a super common experience. When your inner world really comes into alignment, the outer world often starts to reflect that back to you. You start noticing these uncanny synchronicities, like the perfect song playing at the perfect time, or a random conversation that gives you the exact answer you were looking for. These moments just have a feeling of rightness about them, and they're signaling that you are in a major transitional chapter of your life.
And here we are. This is the ultimate shift. You stop waiting for a partner to come along and give you kindness and care and beauty, and you just start giving those things to yourself right now. You treat yourself the way you hope a loving partner would. You become the very energy that you were once looking for outside of yourself. And when you do that, you become a vibrational match for someone else who has also done that same work.
So if these signs are really hitting home for you, it means you've probably crossed that threshold. And the love that finds you now is going to be fundamentally different because you are fundamentally different. It literally creates a brand new reality for what a partnership can be.
This is the ultimate paradigm shift we've been talking about this whole time. We're moving away from that old, kind of codependent idea of finding our other half, a love that's meant to complete you, and we're moving toward a new paradigm, a love that celebrates the wholeness you've already worked so hard to cultivate within yourself. It's a relationship that is built not on need, but on abundance.
And this is the beautiful result. It's not about two broken halves trying to fix each other anymore. It's about two whole individuals coming together to share their wholeness. A partnership that's founded on mutual respect, on deep recognition of one another, and a shared desire to build something amazing, from a place of strength, not a place of lack.
So you see, the journey isn't just about finding someone. It's about this profound process of becoming. It's about turning suffering into wisdom and turning pain into preparation. So the final question isn't when will they get here, but rather who are you becoming now that you are finally, truly ready to be seen?